Hey, so let's see what has been going on. Went to go see Lion King. Uh, it wasn't bad. I thought it was a good, live action remake. I know some people are upset about it, things like that. I was entertained. They had some of the major songs in there. I thought it was a good movie. Um, let's see. Saw Lion King. I got, I guess, what you would call a promotion. I'm no longer at the kindergarten, so my last day was last Thursday. It was kind of cool, sad. Took pictures with the teachers, the kids, things like that. So be moving to either primary or middle school. So teaching older kids, that'll be fun. Be a new adventure. I had some funny stories with the kindergartners who could barely talk. I can only imagine what kind of fun stories I'll have with kids that can, actually have a conversation. What else? What else? Almost got in a fight with managers and security at a pre-brothel. Let's see, anything else interesting? It's been raining a lot here, in Beijing. So that's new. So yeah, I'll probably go back to that altercation in a pre-brothel. So first, let me say, I had no idea that this, y'all, some of the stuff that happens, I can't even make up. I can't even write about. Like that's stuff that happens is just like, this is something like out of a movie. And sure enough, that's how my Friday night was. It also involves another bruh. So it's going to be good. So, like I just said, I got a fraternity brother here in Beijing. And we've linked up like a couple months ago. And we'll hang out on the weekends and things like that. It's pretty cool. Him and his wife, great people. So they're performers and teachers as well. So I'll go see them play at the lounge at the hotel that they work at. And sometimes we'll go have a drink after at another spot or something like that. Well, they're getting ready to leave. So I suggested, hey, let's go out Friday night before you guys head out in case I don't see you. Because I'm taking a holiday this week as well. So, in case I don't get to see you guys, let's hang out. So, agreed. So I go Friday night. I get done with the gym. I head over there. We have a couple beers in between their set. And about 12:30, we head out to a bar. Me and the bro Wes. His wife decided to go home. She was tired, performing, had a day camp, the summer camp, things like that. So it's just me and Wes. So we go out, and we go to this one bar at a hotel, which I've come to learn, like, a lot of the fun English-friendly bars are normally in nice hotels. So, which is cool because they got a band, they play English music, American music, and it's a really energetic and entertaining band, actually. But the waiters, waitresses, bartenders, all of them speak English, so it works out. And then a lot of the patrons speak English as well. So it's just a fun spot. So we go there for a drink. And, we're having a couple drinks, smoking a couple cigars, just having a good time, listening to the band. Well, they close at 2, and they're normally pretty strict about kicking everybody out by 2:15, 2:20. So we had our drinks, smoked our cigars, and we're going down, and, we're like, hey, man, what's the groove? We partying, or, we about to go back home? And then, this was the night. Hey. So we're contemplating, life decisions at this point. Just like, what do we want to do? And you know, he said that magic phrase, like, we're out, let's go have another drink. So we went to go have another drink. So we hopped in this cab, which was also a funny time where we hopped it down to this area called San Latun, and it's like they got a bar strip and things like that. So we hop in this cab. Normally we'll do a DD or things like that because we know how much it's going to be and you know what you're getting. It's China's Uber. DD is China's Uber. So it's like, all right, cool. Well, so we get to where we're going, and he tries to charge us, I think, 100 RMB. Like, whoa, what? Like, no, not at all. And the cool thing about China is everything's negotiable. Like, you can negotiate anything. So we're negotiating. And finally, I think it cost us 50 RMB or something. Anyways, it was still kind of expensive, but it's whatever. It's one of those things that you risk when you don't order a DD and just do one of the people on the street. So, all right, we get to where we're going, and we go to this one spot, but it's dead. And I mean, it's only like 3 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock, and it's just dead already. So we're like, damn. So we start walking towards the main strip, and we're walking, and we notice that, like, all right, there's not a lot that seems to be going on, but we went down one direction, nothing. We go down this other direction though. We start walking, having a good, talking and just having a good time, and we're looking for a bar, just whatever's open. We're not looking for anything in particular. We're just looking for a bar. So, and sometimes you'll have people standing outside, which, you know, like when people are standing outside the bar, it's like, oh, you want to come to this bar? We got the cheapest drinks. You want to come to this bar? We got the best drinks. We got the biggest drinks. Things like that. Normally you'll see that, and people trying to get you to come to their bars and all that. But we didn't see anything like that this time. And we're walking around. It's just like, man, it's only 3 o'clock, and I mean, we've had nights where we've been out till 6. And just still partying, and the party was still going. So we're just like, damn, what's going on? Well, out of the blue, just like this guy just creeped out from the shadows. Hey, you guys looking for a party? Like, yeah, you guys, are y'all open? You know, where's your club at? It's like, oh, it's a 5-minute walk right down this way. Right down this way. All right, we look at each other. You got cold beer? Yeah, we got cold beer. So come on. All right, cool. So we start walking. We start following him. We're talking. He's talking about America. He asked where we're from, so, you know, we tell him America. And he's like, I love America, which everybody loves Americans here. So there's some things that are just, you see in movies, and then you experience it, and you're like, oh, okay, so that's true. It's like when they find out you're American, some of the stuff that you'll see in movies are like, oh, I love America. America's number one. And they do that. They really do that sometimes. So anyways, we're following this guy, we're talking, and we're not thinking nothing of it. And so we get to this spot, which is it's in like an outlet center. So it's like, all right, this is cool. I mean, I've been to it during the daytime, and I would have never suspected that this spot was in this area. Because it really, I mean, it's like you have like designer stores, electronics store. I mean, it's like an outdoor outlet. So we get to this spot. I mean, it's got the neon lights and everything. It's like, all right, cool. And I mean, so we're walking up, and then we notice that there's nothing but women on the outside sitting, drinking and smoking, like all women, not one guy, all women. So it's like, oh wow, okay, so this is a spot where the ratio is good. All right, cool. So I'm just like, all right. Now, a boy's married, but being a single guy, it was just kind of like, all right, if if I was a gambling man, this is something where you roll the dice. Well, so and we just kind of look at each other. It's like, all right, we're going in, and then we walk in, and there was like nothing but women, like a ton of women by themselves. Or, I mean, there was no men. The only men that were there was the guy who walked us in, who took us from the bar, and then like 3 security guards that weren't very intimidating. I'll put it like that. Because I mean, I'm a big guy, and Wes, I mean, he's big. He's ex-military, and I mean, he still stays in shape. So like, the closest physique I could think of for him would be like Blade. Like that's who he reminds me of. Like, he's got that physique. So it was. So I mean, we're not small guys. And then their security, and I point out their security because it plays later on. So I see those 2 guys, like I said, not very intimidating security, but they're sitting around. The manager, he's at the bar, and then the bartender. So it's just like, all right, there's a lot of women here. A lot of women. No guys. They're taking us to the back of the bar, where the TV projector and everything is. And they have they got a strip pole, a dance pole. So it's like, all right. So then I'm thinking like, wait, did we just walk into a strip club? Because I didn't think those were around here. And so I was like, all right. So they set us in this booth, and then I look across the bar, and there's another booth. Now this is the only guy I see that doesn't look like he's part of the staff. It's him and another guy, and they're in a booth with like a bunch of women, and they look like they're playing a game, drinking beer. Like, all right. So they sit us down, and then not 15 seconds later, they sit us down. We ordered 2 Heineken. So me and him order a Heineken apiece. And then, I mean, I'm serious, like 20, 30 seconds later, all of a sudden, bam, it's this wall of women in front of us while we're at the booth. And it's just like, what? And then it clicked. It's like, oh, damn, it's a whorehouse. So, we just kind of start like, did not know that these were here. I mean, of course, prostitution's everywhere. Beijing has its share of it. It's just kind of like one of those things. I guess if you don't ever leave your country, you just kind of get used to seeing certain things, and it's just kind of like, okay. And then when you go somewhere, it's like, oh, well, of course. I mean, sex is a worldwide market. So then it's like, oh, why are you shocked? Just because, it's prostitution, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so it clicks, and I'm just like, oh, dang, this is what this is. So I was like, all right. So the guy was telling us when we got there, at first, nothing got mentioned. Like, nothing got mentioned about anything like this. So we're going, and he's just talking about the beer, the drinks, the crowd, the music. It's like, all right, cool. We're going to have a good time. Then we get there, and we sit down, and then they bring the women, and it's just like, pick whatever ones you want. But, bro, we just came to drink some beer. So, So he's like, no. Just pick the ones you want. And now, here's the thing. So I called it a pre-brothel earlier on. I was telling some of my friends this. They're like, dude, what's a pre-brothel? Well, I call it a pre-brothel because nothing happens there. Apparently, when we sat down and all the women and he was explaining what this place is. It's a 5-minute walk to do the other adult stuff. Yeah. So that's why I call it a pre-brothel, because nothing happens here. This is where all the, I guess the best way to put it, this is where all the negotiating happens, and I guess the warm up is where all the stretching and everything before the game. So and then you'll take a 5-minute walk back to whatever house they have, and then that's where it's showtime. So yeah, so we're like, all right, well, we're just here to drink. He's like, well, just let him sit down and talk. There's nobody here. And then all I ask is you just buy him a beer. So it's okay. It's one of those things where we're here, let's have a beer, let's not cause any waves, because it's if you've been to a gentleman's club, you know that a lot of times they got drink minimums, so you're just like, all right, but I mean it doesn't mean you got to throw money on the stage. So we're just like, all right, we'll buy some beers, whatever. Then all of a sudden, so they bring over this, like, what was it? It's a 6-pack, but it's some big ass German beers that were like 150 RMB a piece, while ours were only 50. I was like, whoa, what? And they're like, no, you don't pay for all 6 of them. You only pay for what you open and drink. I was like, all right. So they open up one apiece. It's like, damn, that's 300 right there. With our beers, that's 400 R&B already. But it's like, all right, whatever. I doubt we'll be here long. Then all of a sudden they bring this fruit tray. It's like, no, ain't nobody ordering no fruit. And then they start playing this dice game, and before I know it, like another bottle got open, and another bottle. It's like, whoa. Actually, the 4th bottle got open right as we were like, let's close out, because this is getting ridiculous. So Wes went to go get the check, and as he's getting ready, they're taking the 6-pack holder thing that's got the remaining beers. Man, one of the girls grabbed one real quick and then popped it open, said, oh, it's open. Oh, I didn't know. Like, come on, son. You knew what you were doing. Just like, oh. So it was four beers at 150 RMB plus our 50, our 100 RMB for the 2 beers. It's like, so we're sitting here at 700 RMB. Yeah, 700 RMB. And it's like, all right, cool. We're going to split anyways. And then they bring the bill. 1,800 RMB. Mm-hmm. 1,800 RMB. We looked at it like, and then so they make it sound better by saying, look, it's all done single. Like we priced everything. So yeah, they did. They broke it down all right. They broke it down for us. Our beers, they charged us for our 2 Heinekens, which of course, okay, we ordered. They charged us for the 4 big beers that the girls drank. which we were both kind of like, this is BS anyways, because one, there's like beer in every bottle left that got open, so but we were still at the point of like, okay, they said to do that, so we're still not trying to cause any waves. You know, this is China, not America. We get it. And then they started talking about, well, you have to pay $100 for each girl that sat down and talked to y'all, and their time. Like, I didn't ask to talk to anybody. I know Wes ain't asked to talk to nobody. We were content talking to each other, drinking our beer. So now it's like, oh, okay. So I think they charged us $300 or $400 for that, and then they charged us for the booth, which nothing was said about that as well. And then they charged like a 15% gratuity. So it came to like 1,800 RMB. We're like, Now Wes, he's been here longer than I have. So he was like, when he realized what was going on, he already gave me a heads up. He's like, hey, bro, this is what they're gonna try and do. And I mean, he said it word for word, and everything that he said, they did. They brought the 6-pack of beer out. They started cracking it open. They tried to bring food out. They tried to talk and they tried to negotiate and things like that. He's like, hey man, this is what they're gonna try and do because we're foreigners. They mark us, and then, you know, that's how they go. All right. And then sure enough, word for word, everything that he said was gonna happen, they did. And then that check came out, and it was like, y'all lost your damn mind. 1,800, and all we had was some Heinekens. Like, get out of here. So, again, since Wes was the veteran here in Beijing, out of the two of us, it was just like, all right. So he handled it. And he said, listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to pay you 1,000. We're not paying 1,800. We're going to give you 1,000. And that's it. You can take it. You can take the 1,000, or you ain't getting nothing. So I'm just like, my man, you bringing it. Like, you ain't taking no shit. So, I mean, he's calm, collect, saying it. It's like, all right. But in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, and true, I'm with this. I'm gonna back my man. And because they were like, that's wrong. You need to pay this. I was like, nah. My man spoke. That's what we're gonna do. It's 1,000 or nothing. So I'm backing him. But then also I'm thinking, like, this is a bar too with security. I know the bars I worked at, somebody tried to get out of their tab, sometimes it could get rough. So now I'm like, oh man, is this about to be like the first bar fight in China that I've been in? Because I know I've said it a couple times on these videos. One of my biggest fears is being locked up abroad. I ain't made for an American prison. I know I ain't made for no Chinese prison. So this is all going through my mind. Like, I'm just like, oh man. So I'm thinking, if something were to happen, me and him were screwed. Because if we were to tear the bar up, it's just gonna be like, they're gonna call the cops or whatever, and be like, oh yeah, it's this big ass white guy with long hair and a beard, and then it's a black dude in a very nice suit. We stand out automatically. Like, there was nobody that they could have even mistaken for us let alone during regular hours, let alone at 4 a.m., 4:30 in the morning. Like, we couldn't have hid. We could have been Nope, they would pick this up instantly. It's like, oh yeah, we got this description. Oh, there they are. They're right there. We don't even have to go anywhere. Look, they're walking across the street right now. That's them. That's them. Yeah, that we were. It would have just been like, oh. So, but I am thinking like, man, this is about to go down. So, and then the manager is he's getting loud, getting hostile. I mean, he's just getting more aggressive. Hostile is the wrong word because nobody's putting their hands on anybody yet. He tried, and then Wes was like, "Hey man, don't touch me." So I do notice that they do not like confrontation at all. It doesn't even matter if they initiate it. The second that you buck up with them, it's like, all right, dude, don't touch me. This isn't what you want to do. It's everything calms down. It's like, oh man. So they try to be intimidating, and in a lot of these situations I've noticed, they try to intimidate you, and it's like, oh, but then the second it's like, bro, we can do this. It's cool. I don't mind. Then it's like, oh, let's change the story. So that's they put the manager put his hands on Wes. Wes like, hey man, don't touch me. You don't want to do this. And then everything backed up. But some of the funniest things came from the manager and the women. So they're trying to insult us, but their English isn't the best. So then it was a lot of, oh, you guys are liars. You guys are bad men. Bad men. You guys are liars. Americans are liars. And I was just thinking like, man, history shows, we're not the best truth tellers. So it's kind of like, I know you want to hurt our feelings, but, and they just keep going on. You guys are bad men. You guys are liars. The best one. She couldn't say it in English. So she couldn't say it in English. So she typed it on a translator and showed it. We're basically, like I said, a pre-brothel. And her message to us was, God will not forgive you. I was like, ma'am, I don't know about your God, but my God is a loving, forgiving God. He will. It's just like, I just could have, granted, it was a very awkward situation to start out with. It was one that we were not intending to be in. And we weren't going looking for anything like this. We really were just looking to have a spot to drink, talk, chill, just have a good time. And this all happened, and she did that, and it was just like, ma'am, we're not gonna pay for these drinks that you're clearly overcharging for and trying to, screw us over on. But you're here selling your body? And that's the phrase you want to use on me? How's it working? Is it working out right? It didn't work. So even with that strong message that she was trying to, get to us, we still did not feel compelled to pay the $1,800. We did pay the 1,000. They accepted the 1,000 RMB. So we split it 5 and 5. And they were just like, and once we paid it, they're like, go, get out, bye. Like, all right. And then I just want to point out that even after all of that, all of the being called liars, saying that God would not forgive us, bad men, we still paid for those women's time and we did not use the merchandise. So that is some really good Samaritan stuff. We paid, but we did not sample. That's almost like saint status. Y'all, it was, like I said, we were just out looking for a drink. And I guess the lesson here is whenever some random guy pops out of the shadows on the side of a road and says, "Hey, follow me to my bar," I guess it's not going to be a regular bar. So yeah, it was a fun-filled night. It was a good story. We probably talked and laughed about it for an additional 20 minutes when we left there. Of course, we did leave, and we made it to the bus stop. We were waiting for our cabs, but it's different situations like that here because America, you'll still mouth off and things like that, and you don't even think about it till sometimes it's too late. People run to the trunk or they got guns, knives, whatever. Here, they have nothing. Like, nothing. They don't even give you knives in restaurants. Like, it's just nothing. So you don't have to worry about like somebody running off to the trunk and then coming back. Now I will say if I saw somebody maybe start stretching or doing some kicks or something that looks like they know something that I don't know, I'm sure my attitude will change. Definitely. But that night, it was just like, nah, man, you're not about to get us. And then when he was just like, look, it's $1,000, take it or leave it. That's all we're paying you. Not getting a penny more. And that's us being generous. Like, he was letting them know, like, nah, you're not about to get us. So, yeah, that was my altercation in a pre-brothel. And again, I call it a pre-brothel because nothing happens there. It's still a 5-minute walk, they said, to the house where the main event is. But yeah, it's China's becoming, it's just, there's so many just like random things that happen. It's so fun. It is. It's a good time. It's a good time. That was fun, and Saturday night I went to another party, but this one was like filled with, there's like a bunch of actors and writers and directors, musicians, artists, things like that. So it was a nice change of scene. And met some really cool people, actually. Just out here networking, meeting new people, making new friends, having new stories. So, and that was kind of what I wanted to do when I got out here, was just kind of, have some good stories. So, but yeah. So now, since my last day of the kindergarten was last week, and I decided to take some time off before I start training and prepping for whatever school, either the primary school or the middle school. So I am taking this week and heading to the beach, South China, Sanya Beach. So they say it's really nice. They compared it to Hawaii. And the other thing that I really love about China is it is so cheap. So cheap. So it's great. Got 4 days on a beach resort, access to a private beach, round trip ticket. suite overlooking the ocean for under $1,000 USD. It is great here. So yeah. So right now, it is still fun. It's adventurous. It's not dull or boring. Basically, all I can say is right now, so far so good. So I will be sure to load some scenery and pictures and things when I get back from the beach. So thanks for watching. Until next time, St. Cody.